Sheffield Steelers fans, but I'm sure the noise reverberating around the country as you pick your favourite team, whoever they are. That's the Nottingham Panthers fans who'll be hoping for a big night tonight. 2 straight defeats last weekend, losing against Cardiff. Here's their lineup. Let's look at the starting 5. Garth Premack, Ross Lambert, Simon Hunt, Graham Waghorn, Stephen Butler in goal, and top scorer Rick Brabant. Thoughts from Ronnie Wood?
Well, it's a very strong line that Nottingham are putting out to start the game. The atmosphere here is absolutely electric. I mean, it's such a close building, and the fans are right on top of the players, and I'm sure it will get to them both sides, and I'm looking forward to a really exciting, explosive match. I think Stephen Johnson got it right when he said it's going to be extremely physical, and yeah, that's the way it's going to go tonight.
Alex Dampier, the manager of the Sheffield Steelers, has opted for what, to all intents and purposes, is the Sheffield Steelers' second line to start the game. Tim Cranston wearing 4, Rob Wilson 5, Tommy Plommer 11. Very explosive line, though, I have to tell you. On defence will be Mike O'Connor. Les Milley, who's racked up 50 goals for the season, the first Sheffield Steeler, a British Sheffield Steeler to do that. And here come the Nottingham Panthers onto the ice. Ron Shudra will make up that lineup, and Martin Mckay, the other one. Well, the Panthers don't want to come out, it seems. The noise here is just so deafening. Here come the Nottingham Panthers. The Steelers are already skating around, led out by Stephen Butler. Ross Lambert's in there as well. There's Garth Premack. Some of the lesser lights, followed by Chuck Taylor, former Telford Tiger. They're all so keyed up for this game. They really are. Brian Cox, the backup netminder, Mike Blaisdell, the coach of the Nottingham Panthers. Ronnie Wood, have you ever heard such a noise in your life?
I've heard noises like this emanating from the Sheffield Arena before, but never quite so much in Nottingham. Like I said before, the atmosphere is terrific. I only wish that the Sheffield supporters would have been allowed in to see this game. They could have put another tier of seats into this building tonight and filled them twice over.
Graham Horner, the man in charge of a very high-octane game indeed. I know he was a little bit nervous. We spoke to him earlier on today, and he says this is probably the most pressurised game he's ever been involved in. There are some of the Steelers fans at the front there. They're giving their side as much encouragement as they can, but they're going to be heavily outshouted in this game. Nottingham Panthers fans, well, I'll tell you what, there is not a square inch of space in this ring tonight. Everybody who can get in is in here. And already Tommy Plummer's squaring up to Ross Lambert. The game hasn't even started yet. Now Rob Wilson gets involved, and we haven't had a drop of the puck yet, and already there's a bit of argy-bargy going on. Lambert wants to get at Plummer. He's trying to wind him up, and Ross Lambert is not a happy man at all. The linesman tries to keep him away. Rob Wilson says to Tim Cranston, well, let's just see how this develops. The crowd are telling you straight away exactly what they feel. Graham Horner is brought into action before he even drops the puck. Right, we're ready to go with the action. If that's a portent of things to come, well, who knows what might happen. Tim Cranston involved in the face-off with Ballard, and straight away they get involved in centre ice. Mike O'Connor clears it from behind the back of the net, whacked in by Waghorn. First stop of the night made by Mckay, and then Hunt slides into the net, takes it off its moorings, and play will have to come to a halt. And we've only had 14 seconds and so much action already.
Waghorn's shot easily saved by Martin Mckay, but Simon Hunt going for the rebound takes Martin out.
Back in centre ice, Waghorn again drives one in at Martin Mckay, then a follow-up involving Lambert, and now Rob Wilson's going to go for it. And they're both going to go, and Martin Mckay already is involved and is holding his face. Premack's involved, and Lambert as well. And, well, this is certainly not the game for the faint-hearted already in this match. Lambert and Wilson are having a little tussle, but the main one is going on the boards involving Premack, and then Milley is taken down to the ice. The referee is trying to separate Tommy Plommer and Garth Premack over on the far side. The linesman Young is not winning that battle very easily, and Graham Horner, the referee, is going to have his work cut out tonight. That's evident from the early exchanges and skirmishes in this game. Tommy Plommer has gone, so too has Garth Premack. It's going to be a 4-on-4 situation, and also Ross Lambert making his way across, but there goes Premack into the box. Tommy Plommer will join him there shortly. He's going to disappear for at least 2 minutes, and we'll hear from Graham
Here
Horner
we go.
exactly what he's going to call.
We got the problem here where Martin Mckay tries to take Ross Lambert's head off. I mean, really, Martin Mckay was the instigator of the whole problem there, which is what goalies should do, I suppose. But then Tommy Plommer goes with Garth Premack. Premack's a bit too more experienced to be suckered into taking early penalties, especially major penalties. But there you go, there's Mark with his stick up, and Lambert takes it well. Rob Wilson comes in to protect him. Yeah, we're going to have nothing else but fun tonight.
So, this is where things start to even themselves out and work themselves out in due course. Sheffield Steelers have 5 against 4, just to correct that situation with all those men in the box. They still have the right amount of manpower and personnel out on the ice. Big Ron Shudra, his first shift of the night, looking for Neil, cutting down right wing, and then referee Horner has spotted something involving Paul Adey. He's gone for slashing. 2-minute penalty on Paul Adey for slashing. So that's 4 Nottingham Panthers who are going to be sitting it out. And, well, is there going to be anybody left to get involved in the game? Graham Waghorn stamping his authority on this game pretty early on, and we haven't yet had 37 seconds. 36 seconds, that penalty.
Yeah, that was a cheap call there from the referee. It wasn't much of a slash, but Ron Shudra skates up, dumps the puck in. Fair call.
Here comes Scott Neal. Let's try and get some movement in this game and some action, shall we, apart from what's happening inside the penalty box. Here's Steve Nemeth, shooting there for the long-range drive. No, he's going to shimmy one way and go the other. Stolen away from him, defensive duties this time by the captain, Rick Brabant. Still a power play for the Sheffield Steelers. So, here's Ron Shudra now with wide open ice, lots of room in which to move. That'll suit Ken Priestlay down the right. We're getting fired. He's got Shudra waiting back on the blue line. Chase on for Nemeth, who'll be met by Matt Trickett. Dig in the corner, back up for Shudra, because he can have the long range blast. No, he's going to feed it across to Kelland. Just slips off the end of the stick of Scott Neal, and he'll have to set the play up again from centre ice. Brabant following him all the way, trying to work it out over the blue line. It hasn't come back over, so the Steelers are still onside. Goes deep to Shudra, forced into, that's the opening goal of the game, but scored by Ken Priestlay. And the Sheffield Steelers on the power play have scored the goal and puts them on the board. A minute and 31 into the game. A well-executed move involving the top line for the Sheffield Steelers. And that's Priestley's 50th goal of the season.
Yeah, the puck gets thrown over here by Scott Neal. And great vision by Shudra. Sees Priestlay open on the far post for an easy tap-in goal. Great positioning by Ken Priestlay. Once again, the puck's loose on the boards. Nemeth, presence of mind, gets his stick in there, tips it to Scott Neal. Scott Neal just tips it over. And here's the pass that makes the goal. Shudra throws it right to the back post. That's an easy goal for a player of Priestley's class.
Yep, goal number 50 of the season for Ken Priestlay. Takes his tally to 79 in terms of points, but he's been very influential in the Steelers' turnaround in this season. Here's Priestlay again. He's got Nemeth open, just misses out because Taylor takes him away from the play. They'll try and keep it in with Millie. Shudra waiting back on the blue line. They'll try and force it clear with Belanger. Carries it back into his own zone, being guarded by Taylor. Just whacks it down the ice to test out Martin Mckay, who's equal to that, and Kelland will bring it away. Crisscrossing to the left, here's Ron Shudra. Here's Priestlay with Nemeth. Nemeth passed to Shudra, nearly reached him, but again the Nottingham Panthers defence get back en masse. No call made by the referee. Yes, it is. It's going to be a tripping call made on the Sheffield Steelers as Ashley Tait follows the puck round the boards. And it's a call on the Sheffield Steelers, and now Nemeth gets involved with Taylor. More skirmishes going on the board. Everybody involved except for Les Millie and Rick Brabant. Whole skirmish going on down this side of the ice. Who'd be in Graham Horner's position here? It's such an unenviable task to try and separate this lot. Shudra's in there. Priestley's underneath that lot. And at the moment, it's Premack who's got them tied up into the board. Shudra's trying to get loose of Taylor. Alex Dampier looks rueful as well, he might. Wants to know how many players have actually been dispatched from this game. We only had 2 minutes and 19, yet we've seen more action in the opening stages of this game than you normally see in 60 minutes of ice hockey. Only the one goal, but penalties are plenty. Ronnie?
I would say it's a good start for the Sheffield team. They're doing what they do best. They're goading Nottingham into taking penalties. And when you're looking at the players that have been exchanged, I think Sheffield have got better strength and depth on the bench. And it will be in Sheffield's favour for it to continue this way right at this moment in time.
Right, so can we get back to the action, boys, please? Thank you. Graham Horner will just retreat to his position behind the face-off circle, and it's Priestlay against Brabant. Back in the action again. Brabant. That's Randall Webber, forced back in by Premack. Here's Kelland with Shudra waiting for the pass down the right. Scott Neal. Neal with Priestlay. Scott Neal wide to Chris Kelland. Here's Shudra. now. Priestley's telling him to take a long-range pump, and Steve Butler, he does just that. Millie, defence, calmly bring it out through Brabant, but they don't get it far enough out. Whacked back in again by Priestley, delayed offside, so Primack has to go on the chase. The crowd now will raise their voices as the Panthers try to put something together. Forward they go, with Primack dumping it in. Webber is there, so too is Adey. Adey held into the boards by O'Connor. On the turn goes Brabant. He's a sharpshooter of the first order. 58 goals this season, looking for number 59. Webber can't get the shot in. It takes a ricochet up in the air. Webber bats it down, and referee Horner calls a hand pass, and they'll go back for the face-off to the left of Martin Mckay's goal.
Game of a hand. What's that? Game of a hand.
Fast and furious action right now. End-to-end stuff. I think Sheffield have got the upper hand at the moment. Nottingham are playing short-handed, and have been playing short-handed since the first 20 seconds of the game.
Randall Webber just winning outside the face-off circle. Mario Belanger will contest it up against Rob Wilson. Belanger, Webber just wide. Millie clears. That'll be an icing call if it makes it all the way down there, and it does. So they'll return back to the Steelers' end of the ice. Linesman Young will bring it down, and just a little bit of pressure now on the Steelers' net.
Well, at last we've got 5 on 5. Nice to see it for a change. But yeah, it's a little bit pressure here for Sheffield. I'm sure they'll cope with it. I mean, this game's going to go on a long time. It's not going to be one of these games that's over in 2 hours, that's for sure.
I hope you're set in for a long night. We've booked our hotel accommodation because we could be here all night. Waghorn, long range again, testing out Mckay. Both netminders getting a fair amount of rubber battered at them for long range. Cranston and Belanger get a little bit involved. Nothing develops from that. Millie, long range again. Butler palms it away. Plommer moves into the corner. Cleared from deep. Again, little up and under, which looks to set Belanger a two-line pass. So they'll return back down to the Panthers' end of the ice. Belanger nearly in with a good opportunity, but the puck crossed 2 lines, and the Nottingham Panthers will have to retreat back to their own end.
And so far, there's Mario Belanger, really talented player, not the most aggressive player in the country right now, but he's certainly holding his own, that's for sure.
Three minutes and 45 gone in the game. The only goal so far scored by Ken Priestlay on 1:31. The Steelers lead by 1-0. But it's been a match so far absolutely chock-filled with penalties. And that's been the story of the game, not the action that's taken place outside each blue line. Primack drives that one low. Again, Martin Mckay under pressure, but copes with it well. And there's a man who's averaging less than 4 goals a game at the moment with a save percentage of over 88%.
Yeah, Martin Mckay, great goalkeeper, has been for a long time now. Steady as a rock, no problem here. Primack shooting from just at the red line, that's no problem to a goalkeeper of Martin's calibre. The thing at the moment though is Sheffield seem to be in more control. Their controlled plays coming out the end zones, etc. Nottingham seem to be dumping and chasing at the moment, and it's not proving too fruitful for them.
Bit of ice time for Neil Abel, and then something happening just behind the play involving Simon Hunt and Scott Neal, who takes a bit of a bumping into the boards. Off the boards for Shooter to chase. Mckay just guards it, makes sure there's no danger. There isn't this time, and they'll farm it out to Scott Neal. Forward goes Priestley. Priestley will need some support. He drives one in just wide. Butler got a piece of that. Neil Abel will slam it back in. Here's Priestley again, looking for somebody out in front of net. Neil's the closest man, will hold his man into the boards. Meanwhile, captain Rick Brabant sets the move away. 2-on-2 break here, which involving Mark Tait, a penalty called by Graham Horner. And there's going to be another 2 minutes coming up. Neil Abel gets involved with Graham Waghorn. And Waghorn does not want to know. Neil Abel has a chat. Steve Nemeth returns to the ice, but there's going to be a player from either side disappearing into the penalty box. Graham Horner will tell us what the penalties are.
Yeah, I think what we're going to find here is we've got a late hit from Graham Waghorn on Neil Abel. No problem to Big Neil. If there's one player that they don't want to get upset, that could clear the ice is Big Neil. It takes a lot to get him going. Here you see Neil watches the puck. He dumps the puck up the boards, and there's Waghorn coming in late. That's a fair hit, to be fair. But Waghorn did the smart thing and got out of the way quick.
An unsportsman. 9 black, yeah, 9 black on the original. Yeah, just a 1-2, that's it.
Right, there's Graham Waghorn, who's going to sit it out for 2 minutes.
5 on 4.
5-on-4 situation now. Mike Blaisdell just questioning what's happening. It's a very confusing, rather difficult time for the coaches to fathom out exactly what's happening out there. And Scott Neal, 20 goals, 30 assists this year, just ranked up 50 in the previous game against Basingstoke. Neal, chase on for Nemeth. Premack will get it worked back. Kellen, Neal was nearly open there, just bobbled off the end of his stick. And Hunt will complete the clearance once the puck's worked out by Premack. Going forward now is Belanger. Belanger with Shooter, trying to tie him up and just into the side net. There it is! Rebound came back out to Belanger. Wasn't successful at the first time of asking, but second time it popped obligingly back onto his stick. And Martin Mckay had already committed himself, and Mario Belanger gets the game-tying goal.
Yeah, just as the pass gets made, Ron Shooter has a little stumble. It gives Belanger the edge, and what great hands by Belanger here. Stays on his feet, gets a rebound, and Martin Mckay, he's read the move to the far post. Here you see it. Shooter's already stumbled by now. He tries to get the big hook on. Great strength by Belanger. Nets off its mooring, but the goal given because Martin Mckay knocked it off. Once again, drives hard, keeps his legs going. There you go, Martin's out the goal. There's nowhere else for it to go but in the back of the net.
Mario Belanger ties up the game. 10 minutes and 15 remaining. It's Panthers 1, Steelers 1. As we come to halfway into the first half. Breathtaking. Brabant. Taylor was almost wide there. Steelers have to get a lot of men behind the play and behind the puck to keep away the danger. Comes back out over the blue line, so Wilson can work it out virtually at his leisure. The referee, Graham Horner, has seen something else happening behind the play. Not happening on the puck, but happening behind the puck. Matt Trickett, I think, is the man going.
Matt Trickett and Tommy Plommer were having a little contretemps on the far boards. They were fighting for possession of the puck. Tommy's an aggressive player. Trickett trying to hold his own, and then you can see the way it works out.
So an even up penalty here. Trickett gone for 2, Tommy Plommer gone for 2, and well, they can both have a breather. Tommy Plommer a little bit less agitated than he was last time he went into the box when they were jockeying for position, but that's Matt Trickett and the Nottingham Panthers. I think the game's starting to come back to some semblance of normality. Something happens, and the game just explodes again. Millie. Here's Wilson. Wilson with Cranston going forward. Wilson tests out Butler, overbalancing, and then stood up in front of net. More argy-bargy in front of net. And the linesman trying to keep Chuck Taylor off. Waghorn's in there, Millie as well. I don't think too much is going to develop from this one. Butler just sitting down and getting his breath back.
A long-range shot comes in from Rob Wilson here. And like every good forward, Tim Cranston runs in looking for the rebound, gets a little slash from Graham Waghorn there, but then Chuck Taylor gives him a shove from behind. Not content with that, goes in for a nice right hook. One Mike Tyson would have been proud of, and I think Chuck Taylor's got to go to the penalty box for that one. Quite right too.
Yeah, Chuck Taylor goes to 2 minutes. Graham Waghorn looks on. And the referee gives another 2-minute penalty. Chuck Taylor goes to join Matt Trickett in the penalty box.
You got to question the intelligence of that move, because the game was dead there, the puck was dead, there was nothing else happening. That might cost Nottingham badly, and I hope for Chuck Taylor's sake it doesn't, but you know, when players do silly things like that, they've got to get penalised.
And indeed he has been. So it's going to be a power play opportunity for the Sheffield Steelers. And Tim Cranston will try and win the face-off. Here's Millie. O'Connor is open down by the blue line. So too is Rob Wilson. They'll try and work it back to Wilson, but they can't because the clearance will be made by Webber. Not far enough away though. That was Wilson forcing back in. Cranston nearly got it. O'Connor will, sets his sights, gets around one man, gets a shot away, rebound comes back out, Butler, nearly a chance from Millie, can they keep it in the zone? O'Connor, wide of the target, and Millie will try and force it back in, but the Panthers, short-handed, will clear. Mckay comes out to smother, Mike O'Connor, Cranston just going from right wing to left in front of him. Here's Wilson. Wilson with a movement, cuts back across to left, looks for the angle for the shot, nearly planted it right on the stick of Les Millie, but not quite. O'Connor digs it back round, goes back to O'Connor again. Millie is open in the centre if they can get the pass to him. Here's O'Connor. Cranston, will he try and run it in? Wide of the target. Wilson will do well to keep that in play. He can't. Has to carry back over the halfway line, over the red line. Lines up a shot. Wide of the left-hand pipe. It'll be cleared by Tait. Steelers still on the power play, so the Nottingham Panthers can get rid of the puck for all they want on this short-handed play. There's their penalty box, and here's Ken Priestlay working down the right. Control play, Shudra lets one rip right into the safety netting and above the boards, and it'll be cleared all the way down the other end. Brabant just poking it towards Mckay. Looks for anybody in a black shirt, finds Priestlay. Kellen's in there as well. Shudra, ooh, it just dribbled wide. Still in play though, very much for the Sheffield Steelers. Here's Kelland. Is there a man open for the shot? It's O'Connor. Plummer's back on, so too is Trickett. Two men back on the ice. Trickett gets into the action straight away. Just cuffs the shot a little bit. Here comes the pass through down right wing for Brabant. Around the boards. Chuck Taylor, ready to return. He's back on the ice. 5-on-5 situation. Full contingent again. Shooter off the end of his stick. Here's Primack. Primack will look for somebody down the left. That man being Ashley Tait. Just got the call up for Great Britain for the internationals in Bratislava. He'll be part of 3 Nottingham Panthers players involved in the GB setup there next month, along with Graham Waghorn and Rick Brabant. That's going to be a 2-line pass called by linesman Young. So play will return to the Nottingham Panthers end of the ice. And this time round, Paul Adey is thwarted in his attempt to get the go-ahead goal.
I'll tell you what I've noticed so far, Bob, is there's been a lack of presence from Rick Brabant. He doesn't seem to be icing that much. Maybe they're saving him a bit till the heat goes out of the situation, saving his legs for an explosive second and third period, but we certainly can't have asked for more than what we've got so far.
7 minutes and 12 remaining in the first period. Panthers 1, Steelers 1. The Ken Priestlay goal tied up by Mario Belanger. So that's how they stand at the moment. Remember, a win or a point for the Sheffield Steelers enough to see them clinch the championship. Adey from wide. Hunt is there! Doesn't need Hunt. Adey dumps it into the bottom right-hand corner of Martin Mckay's net. Mckay will feel he could have done a bit better with that. Adey will feel he could not have done any better than he did. Picked his spot. Accuracy personified. 2-1 Panthers.
Here you see Paul Adey goes down. He's gone over the red line, but he fakes a shot here, and if we could see it from behind the net, which we might do later, Martin goes for the shot and lifts his stick off the ice, and of course the puck gets shot after the initial fake and sliding right into the bottom corner. Here we go. Look, you just miss it out of shot, but Martin Mckay expected the shot to come a little bit higher than it did and lifted his stick off the ice. Great move by Paul Adey.
So Paul Adey puts the Nottingham Panthers in front for the first time tonight. Big goal for them. Very big goal. 6:50 remaining in the first period. Panthers 2, Steelers 1. Now, what are the Steelers made of? They haven't been behind in too many games recently. Don't really know what it's like to have to play catch-up hockey. Here's Plommer. Long range on Butler. Wasn't quite set up for that, I don't think, as the puck came through. Here's Plommer. 1-on-1 backhand. Can he score? No, he can't. Butler's got him covered all the way across the crease this time. And Waghorn feels that something should be called on Tommy Plommer, and he's going to go and tell the ref that. Plommer is shaking his head, thinking, well, did I miss out on a gilt-edged charge? Perhaps he did, to tie the game up almost immediately there.
Yeah, Primack gets a little hook there and loses control. And quick as a flash, Tommy Plummer's onto the puck, just can't get enough. It sits up on its edge, can't get enough to put it into corner. Once again, Primack, I think the hook comes from Cranston. Nice move. And of course, Tommy, ever alert, almost ties the game up there.
There's Tommy Plommer, who this year has had one of his most productive years for the Sheffield Steelers. 30 goals, 37 assists so far. Nemeth. This game's going to really liven up again, I think, now that the Steelers have got to get themselves back on level terms if they can before the end of the period. Priestlay dumps it in for Nemeth to chase, but now the defence looking stronger for the Panthers. The puck came out over the blue line. Priestlay carried it back over. It's an offside call, and back outside the blue line they'll come for a face-off.
Yeah, that's Ken Priestlay there. He's been around and he's seen a lot better, a lot harder than this game. He won't get goaded into any silly penalties. He's as solid as a rock.
Shudra drives it in. Nemeth wasn't aware of where it was just in behind him. Webber, we put pressure on Webber though to make sure he can't clear his lines. He offloads it to Taylor. Puts it back into danger territory though. It's up to Matt Trickett. So one of those has come through the Nottingham Panthers junior system with great effect. Now there's a chance for Priestlay. Save made by Butler. Meanwhile, something happens on the far side. It's a penalty on the Sheffield Steelers as the Nottingham Panthers bring it away. So as soon as a Panther gives up the puck and the Steelers touches, they will do now through Kelland. It's a penalty coming up, and it's going to be a hooking call, and Graham Horner will tell us precisely who and why.
Hey, Black, man who?
Scott Neal goes to the box for 2 minutes there. He gave a little tug here. If you watch it here, gets a hook on Brabant. Brabant gives it the 6.0, perfect mark. He's in the right place for that, and good bit of professionalism by Brabant to get the penalty, but nobody in sport likes to see it.
With a Torben and Dean would have been proud of that. Well, Scott Neal will certainly not be proud of it, because he's sitting it out for 2 minutes. And again, the Panthers are on the power play. Can they make it count this time? Adey already scored 1 goal in this game. The goal has put them ahead. Taylor's got a fair old shot. That's bobbling around. Martin Mckay cannot really know until it comes to rest exactly where it is. Brabant, good battle there, and good work by Les Milley. Now he's on a charge. He's got support arriving from Cranston. Can't ride the challenge of Belanger though, who did well to stop him in his tracks. Here's Adey. Adey is going to have a go from long range. Just nasty one to deal with all along the surface of the ice. Martin Mckay with very little support. Now he gets it though. Shudra cleared by Milley. A few more valuable seconds wasted. 1:24 remaining on the penalty clock. Scott Neal will return then, provided Nottingham Panthers don't score in the interim. Here's Hunt. Goes through the legs of Brabant. Collected by Adey. Adey will look for the man wide. Chuck Taylor is open, so is Belanger to try and work it in. There's Brabant trying to find a way through, and then he and Chris Kelland, well, this is old territory. These two squared up in a Norwich Union Cup match a few years ago, and now there's more skirmishes going on. Brabant and Kelland, and meanwhile there's more going on involving Simon Hunt. Simon Hunt's getting involved in a bit of a pasting going on there. There's 2 little outbreaks, another one going on, and Tim Cranston's involved in the other one with Simon Hunt. Well, Graham Horner, you should be on danger money tonight for the job you're having to do. Cranston and Hunt, Kelland and Brabant, that's still going on by the way, with the linesman trying to separate them. There's 2 linesmen over there.
I think we'll find it's Ron Shudra there that's been stepping in there. Rick Brabant threw a nice left hand right in Chris Kelland's face, and Shudra came in to back him up, which is nice to see from the Sheffield team. Nottingham are going for it now, and it just makes it a spectacle for everybody to watch. It's not the best thing for hockey, but certainly for watching it and spectating, it's value for money. Here we go. It all starts there. Kelland gives him a shove in the face, and it just goes on from there.
There's the Nottingham Panthers players: Mark Tait, Simon Hunt, and Rick Brabant. Here's Lambert. Whacking it off the boards, getting a lot of distance as well, putting pressure on the Steelers' defence. Now Wilson, got a bit of forward charge into his move down the ice. Plommer, perfectly positioned. Priestlay, can he get the shot away? Priestlay goes upstairs and scores! Over the shoulder of Stephen Butler. Goal number 2 of the night for Ken Priestlay. Goal number 2 of the night for the Sheffield Steelers. And the small band of Steelers supporters here cheer it to the rafters. It's 2-2.
Terrific move by Tommy Plommer here. Just takes the puck, dumps off, takes the hit from 2 players out the game, and what a finish by Ken Priestlay, right in the top, right in the postage stamp, and Butler doesn't have a chance. Once again, here you go, he's already picked the pass up from Tommy Plommer, just has a little look, puts it right in the top shelf. That evens the game up, and it makes it all to play for with about 3 minutes left.
3 minutes exactly now remaining on the clock for the first period. And 2-2 now. Steelers back on level terms. Second goal of the night, 51st of the season for Ken Priestlay, who's in absolutely dynamic form at the moment.
Well, yes, he showed his true class there. No problem, no panic, no hesitation. Just goes in, picks his spot, and puts it right in the top of the net. He's a pressure player, and he's obviously he's going to do a great job for Sheffield for the rest of the season.
Priestlay getting involved in the face-off now. He cleared down the ice by Rob Wilson. Doesn't get it as far away as he would have hoped for. Back off the boards by Mike O'Connor. Here's Adey. Adey guarded all the way around the back of the net by Nemeth, who's putting a lot of pressure on the defence, and they're not quite sure how to handle it at the moment. Scott Neal will try and keep it in, and he can't. Dribbles back to Mike O'Connor. On halfway is Priestlay. Down the left is Wilson, just playing with it now, eating down a few seconds on the clock. Here's Scott Neal. Nemeth bypasses him. Ricochets off the board. Taylor. Nemeth charging forward again, but to no avail this time. It'll jump into the corner. It's going to be icing if it trickles out over the goal line. It does. So play will return back down the other end. Kellen's back out of the penalty box. Tim Cranston as well, which just leaves Ron Shudra for the Sheffield Steelers, and Brabant and Hunt in the box for the Nottingham Panthers.
Well, Chris Kellen's been here, played here for many a year. He was very, very popular with the Nottingham fans whilst he was here. Here we see once again, great pass by Rob Wilson, and a lovely move by Tommy Plommer. Takes one hit, takes another. Ken Priestlay coming in, just picks his spot. Oh, that's a cracking goal. That's one to be proud of.
And he's scored a few of those this year already, I tell you. He's been in blistering form, and if he's going to peak for Wembley, well, it'll be good stuff. 2-2, just under 2 minutes to go in the first period. Webber tries to take Wilson. Wilson gives him a cross-check in the back. Referee doesn't spot it, now he does. Belatedly, it's a penalty called on Rob Wilson. This time, it's a tripping call. He could have gone in for the cross-checking from behind before that, but this time Wilson will wearily make his way towards the penalty box. It's a tripping call.
Great play by Randall Webber here. You see the winger takes the puck round the boards, and in the front of the net you've got all sorts going on as they're fighting for possession. Here we go. Randall Webber made a lot of ground on Rob Wilson there, and he had to resort to foul play to bring him down.
So, two defensemen in the box, Rob Wilson alongside Ron Shudra. 1 minute and 48 remaining in this first period. And that means a power play for the Nottingham Panthers. Here's Webber. Is there a way through for him? There might be for Taylor. Wide open, and there's Mckay, screened by about 3 players there. Did well to get something on it. A wraparound from Adey. Taylor will walk it in. Taylor! There's a chance for Belanger, but the right-hand pipe was guarded by O'Connor, and they'll whack it away down the other end. Here's Butler. 1 minute and 28 remaining in the first period. What a first period we have had. Taylor. Here is Lambert. Belanger down the left. Adey in the middle. Waiting open is Webber. Puck disappears from the referee's view, so that will bring play to a halt. 1:28 remaining on the power play, 1:16 on the first period.
Simon Hunt and Rick Brabant looking on from the penalty box there, eager to get back into the action, but Nottingham are doing a good job at the moment.
Face off then, just outside the Sheffield Steelers blue line. Priestlay having a good old battle, and here's Adey. Plummer's covering the front of the net, but not quite well enough. It could sneak under there. It's going to be a penalty call by Graham Waghorn. Puck is loose. Once he loses sight of it, it's going to be another call. It's a holding call. 1 minute and 4 remaining in the first period, and it's going to be a penalty called on the Sheffield Steelers, number 17, Mike O'Connor.
Yeah, Mike O'Connor here. Doesn't quite have the legs. Paul Adey's got the strength, keeps himself going. And now you see Mike O'Connor's got to hold on for his life just to make sure there's no danger.
So, it's 3 defensemen now in the penalty box. Mike O'Connor, Ron Shudra and Rob Wilson. So who's going to cover the defensive duty? Well, Chris Kellen's out there, and Tommy Plommer will have to help out. It's a 5-on-3 now for the Nottingham Panthers. Adey drifting that one across to Belanger to get the tip in. He didn't though. Lambert still. Belanger palms it down. He's allowed to do that as long as he doesn't close the glove on it. Chuck Taylor around the back. There's Adey and Lambert in front. Kellen will look to get it away as far as he can. Nemeth still digging in there. He needs to try and get the puck from the Steelers' cause, but Webber waiting back on the blue line for the long-range effort. Wide open is Taylor, but Plummer read that play very well and got across to stop the problem. Webber at full stretch trying to keep the play in the zone. He can't. Cleared away by Butler. Now Taylor, last 20 seconds of the first period. Lambert races onto it like a hare. Open is Adey in front. If he can get the pass to him, he can't. Might have another chance. 13 seconds to go in the period. Belanger, Taylor all along the deck. Flipped over the top of the net though by Randall Webber. This might be their last chance in this period. It will be their last chance in this period. And there is the last action of the first 20 minutes play. A period that's lasted, what, all of nearly an hour. Nearly 55 minutes of action here, or inaction sometimes. The most busy man out there has been the referee, most definitely, and the players have played their part. But at the end of the first period, it's 2-2 between the Nottingham Panthers and the Sheffield Steelers. And what an amazing first period that was. Goals from Ken Priestlay, 2 of them for the Sheffield Steelers, and the goals for the Nottingham Panthers coming from Belanger and Paul Adey. The Sheffield Steelers will be down to 3 men for the next minute, just under 57 seconds. Kelland against Belanger in the first face-off, and here's Nemeth. Nemeth now charging forward. 5-on-3, remember, gets the shot away, and Stephen Butler just let it hit his body. Just got as much in behind that as he possibly could do to steer it wide and out from the goal. Ross Lambert dumps it in. Chase on for Adey. Nobody covering the front of net, but they're okay because Les Milley has managed to get it out of the way. No icing, remember. Steelers back to 4 men. 5-on-4 situation. And not for much longer will the Panthers have that power play. Lambert tied up by Kelland. Good work by Kelland. Very good work by Kelland. Will hold it in for a few more seconds. Loses it now. It's out front. Belanger still loose. Back out to Taylor. Long blast. Mckay stops. Lambert on the turn. It's anywhere. Could be anywhere. Following in. Still bobbling around. Still loose. Taylor. There's Adey. Stop made by Mckay. How the puck stayed out of the net there. Only perhaps Martin Mckay could possibly know, because the goal was living more than a charmed life, but the power play's been seen off, and Martin Mckay made 3 or 4 really good stops there.
Great pressure by Nottingham Panthers. They've come out with a mission. Get right on top of the game. Chuck Taylor with a big shot here. Mark Mckay makes a good save, then the puck's bouncing around, and there's about 3 or 4 shots here. Nobody knows exactly where it is, but nobody gets a clear sight of view of the net. And eventually Mark Mckay, you'll see at the far post here, just gets his hand down and puts his body over the puck. Good goaltending and great pressure from Nottingham.
But now they have to do it with a 5-on-5 situation. Premack just wide. Tait is tied up in front of net. Graham Horner, the referee, allows play to continue. Cranston pulls a move. Got Plommer arriving down the left, but he can't get there because he and Brabant in a bit of a clinch. He then brings Lambert down. No penalty call by Horner again. He's allowing a few little niggly things to continue here. That'll be an icing call despite the skating of Scott Neal. And well, not quite as feisty an opening as the first period in the second period, but nonetheless pretty lively stuff.
I think both teams have got rid of all the pre-match nerves now. It took them about an hour to do so, but we should be in for a little bit more exciting hockey now, and that's always a benefit for us sitting up here.
The aggression might be out of the system, but the point's still very much up for grabs. Now, Graham Horner wants to throw both Rob Wilson and Mario Belanger out of the face-off circle. So 2 new combatants will go back in their place. Tait competing against O'Connor. Panthers win it. Premack chases back. Cranston being held off the play by Waghorn. Did a good job there. He still hasn't released him. Now he does. 2-line pass as Tait collects. So the pressure will be right back on the Nottingham Panthers defence again as the puck returns back to the end, defended by Stephen Butler.
Well, at last we've got the penalty bench. It's totally clear of players, and that should make it. Coaches being able to make their moves for the next few minutes anyway, hopefully. Ashley Tait's had a good game so far. He throws himself around. Mike Blaisdell having a little word with him, telling him what he's doing right, what he's doing wrong. Great coach.
Slides it up. That'll be a high stick on Les Milley if he tries to play it. Not given. So here comes Plommer. Plommer crisscrossing his Cranston. He's open. 2-on-1 break and blasted wide. He might have been better served giving the pass to Tim Cranston, who was open, but Plommer went for glory instead. Here's a chance to Hunt. It's going to be open. It's going to be Adey, and it is. For his second goal of the night. And Adey does what Ken Priestlay has already done for the Sheffield Steelers. A double strike, which puts the Panthers back in front. 2 minutes and 21 gone of the second period.
Well, that goal really hurt Sheffield because they had a glorious chance at the other end of the ice there, and maybe Tommy should have passed it, but it's always a call you got to make in the spur of the moment. And Nottingham capitalised by coming right up the other end of the ice. A great pass here, and of course when the puck gets passed over to the likes of Brabant, he isn't going to make it. And then of course it's Adey that scores the goal there, just to prove me wrong, but great goal from Nottingham.
Plommer off the boards. Now that's going to put a spring in the Nottingham Panthers step, that is for certain. Now can this line, which has been so productive for the Steelers, make something happen? Long range from Cranston. Millie should be following in. He's waiting back off the play, and so too is Plommer. Millie's won it back. Cranston has fouled. Referee on top of things. Saw it from close range and called nothing. Then the puck is frozen, and he calls play to halt. Cranston thinks something should have been called. The home crowd really getting in behind their team. I wanted to tell you that.
Well, yeah, certainly the crowd are very vociferous here, and they're making a lot of noise. I'm sure it's just as loud back in Ponds Forge, where there's about 2,000 Sheffield people rooting for their team too. Once again, here you see the puck coming off, and Les Millie trying ever so hard to get shot away. He gets it away, but it's off the back end of the post, and puck's killed at the end by the goalkeeper.
Well, Alex Dampier screaming instructions. He has to, because he can't make himself heard in this rig, I can tell you. It is so noisy. Now it's coughed up by Neil Abel, but does well to repair the damage. Here's Nemeth. Trying to pick up Priestlay, couldn't, and then fired back in by Garth Freemak. Mckay just gives a little poke to Ross Lambert. Blind side of the referee. Linesman would have seen that. Referee behind the cluster of players there wouldn't have seen a thing. But Mckay certainly getting a bit fired up now.
Well, I think Martin's had a rough ride for the first period, and it's payback time. He's a big guy. He's about 6'3". He won't take any messing in front of his goal net. And you see here, puck's badly passed out, and Freemak gets the shot away. No problem to Martin. He cuts it up. Lambert goes in and has a couple of digs, and then Martin evens the score.
Priestlay against Brabant. Freemak will look for a way through. Does he find it? Oh, it's caught Paul Adey. It might have hurt him a bit as well, because there's a fair amount of force in that. Steelers look to clear. They will now. Through Kelland. Kelland will find Priestlay. Shot first time wide. Here's Kelland with Waghorn taking him into the corner. Nemeth to try and keep it in the zone. That'll be icing. And they'll return back to the Nottingham Panthers end of the ice. 3-2 then to the Panthers over the Steelers. 3:34 gone in the second period.
Well, you just can't afford to blink in this game. It's absolutely frantic, and it's a great spectacle for us to be sitting watching. I'm pleased to be here, that's for sure. I'm witnessing one of the best games I've seen for many a year, if not for the quality of the hockey, but for the intensity and for the aggressiveness that's been displayed by every single player out on the ice.
Pretty obvious how much both sides want to win this game. It's Panthers' last chance of securing the Premier Division title. A draw would be enough for the Sheffield Steelers to be crowned Premier Division champions, but they've got to score at least once more to do that. Very tight hockey game. It's a 3-3 game between them at Christmas time. This has all the makings of something similar. Tait. Stolen away by Les Millie. Very unlucky. Didn't quite fall for him as he would have liked. Offside call against Millie and Cranston. They've cleared the zone now, so the delayed offside will be called off, and they can work their way back in again. Trickett. Adey already scored 2, looking for number 3. Brabant goes high, goes low. Digs it through with Rob Wilson virtually in his shorts there. Now here's Les Millie. Pass intended for Plommer. Gets it on the rebound. On the ricochet shot, well wide. Anybody there for the rebound? Millie's going in with Cranston. But the Panthers quite controlled. Bring it out of defence for Brabant. That wasn't a great pass, but Taylor managed to put Les Millie off. And then Chuck Taylor fills the net from long range when nothing really seemed on. Chuck Taylor thought otherwise, just looked up, picked his spot, said that's where it's heading, that's where it's going. Take a bit of that, Martin Mckay. He took a big piece of it. So did the net. 4-2.
Yeah, everybody backed off Chuck Taylor, and he can cannon the shots in big time. Mark Mckay seemed to lose sight of it. I think if we see it again, there's a very, very slight deflection here. I could hear it up in the crowd here. It's about the only thing I've heard all night. And maybe that just threw it off for Martin, and it went right in the bottom corner. But Nottingham got the tails up. Sheffield need to get the goal back quickly. Once again, there you go. Big shot from outside the blue line. It was definitely deflected. Now we've got some trouble at the face-off with Kelland and Ross Lambert, both being sent to the penalty bench for being a bit silly before the puck gets dropped. This is going to ask some questions of the Sheffield Steelers. They don't want to have to go to Durham tomorrow night and win to win this championship, I tell you. They want it
Done and dusted. Delaying the game, the penalty on the two players, by the way. Simon Hunt drills it in. Martin Mckay stops it, but Hunt's going to go for the follow-up. Oh, how did Mckay make that stop? He did, though. A 3-on-2 break here for the Sheffield Steelers. Shooter to the left. Shooter's open. He's going to score. No, he isn't. He lifts it wide and very high over the net. Shooter from that range is normally so deadly, but this time he's anything but. Are they a bit rattled, the Sheffield Steelers now? It could well be. Waghorn. Hunt. Here's Belanger. Belanger will walk it in. Oh, he was that time very unselfish and gave it to Graham Waghorn, who couldn't convert. Priestlay now, drop pass to O'Connor. Kicked away by Stephen Butler. The motion all in the Panthers' direction now. Belanger again drives it in low. Clearance made by Shudra. Priestlay will be wondering what's going on here. Priestlay then finds the man big in front of him, Simon Hunt. Taylor, scorer of what could be a very important fourth goal. Shudra, long range to wide, just wide, and the bounce unkind for Butler. Nice to farm it out though to Brabant. Here's Brabant, captain of the Nottingham Panthers, steaming forward. Still Brabant, drop pass for Chuck Taylor, looking to again post it in the bottom left-hand corner as he looked. Trickett, Millie, this is frantic action now. O'Connor, wide open again is Shudra. They're allowing a few gaps at the back, the Panthers. The shot coming in from Shudra again, testing out Stephen Butler, who's come out big on all those plays now. Adey, can he pick his spot? He has! Number 5, Nottingham Panthers running wide. Hat-trick for Paul Adey. That has made all the difference in a very tight, competitive game. All of a sudden, 3 goals in the space of just over 6 minutes, and the Sheffield Steelers are choking at the moment.
Well, this is like a carbon copy of the first goal Paul Adey scored, except this time there's not the fake. He lets the shot go first time. Martin's angles aren't quite what they should be here, and he lets the puck go in the bottom corner. Once again, you see Paul Adey. Martin's maybe a few inches over to the left-hand side of his net too much, and Paul Adey, very accurate as always, just picks the bottom corner. But Sheffield are up against it without any question.
3 goals in 4:03, 2 of them scored by number 22, Paul Adey. That's his hat-trick goal, wide on the right again, and almost identical to where he scored his first. Adey in prime form, and that makes it 5-2 to the Nottingham Panthers, and Adey really on target tonight. Well, that's pre-match to start making the move in the other direction. Here's Waghorn, one of 3 GP internationals, going to be going to Bratislava next month. Here's Hunt, loses possession to Priestlay, who's been a bit absent of late. Here's Premack, just driving it in, seeing if Martin Mckay has got his confidence back or not. Nemeth, straight onto the stick of Adey. 4-on-4, remember. Brabant. Premack. Down the centre goes Waghorn. Here's Brabant. Brabant driving it wide of the left-hand pipe. Hunt's waiting it. Chance to have a Priestlay with Nemeth. Now, has he got the legs? He's got to get around 2 defensemen. Yes, he scores! Through the legs of Stephen Butler. And again, Nemeth did what he did in the previous game for the Sheffield Steelers, where nothing really seemed to be on. Thought he'd drive it in at Butler. Butler thought he had it covered, but it sneaks in between the pads. 5-3, Panthers.
Nice play from Sheffield here. They move the puck nice and quickly. Nemeth takes a screen shot. Netminder Butler doesn't really see it. He's not been put under pressure so much tonight, and Nemeth is very happy to have scored that goal. Had a little word in his ear once it went in the goal too. Obviously trying to wind him up and put his concentration off a bit. Nemeth always comes up big for Sheffield, and it's certainly something that they needed.
So, Steve Nemeth, who before this game had scored 50 goals in all the games he'd played, 52 assists, makes it goal number 51. So that makes the score now. Panthers 5, Steelers 3. 11 minutes to go in the second period. Still game on, very much so. The margin now 2. Lambert. That was Tait waiting for the pass, but intercepting was Shudra. Priestlay. They're going to try and work that move again with Nemeth. Goes again, goes upstairs this time, and Stephen Butler just pops it out of the air. Taylor with Belanger, and Tait is wide open down the right. Here is Tait. He'll drive to the net, or try to. Cannon will hold him off the play, and does well to get possession back again for the Steelers. Nemeth. Here is Cranston. Cranston wide to Shudra again. They're not picking the big man up at the moment, and Shudra will drive to the net. couldn't get the shot on target, but worked his way in very close, giving the Steelers a chance to regroup again. They won't get it this time from Nemeth. Here comes Belanger. Belanger with Kellen trying to stand him up well wide by Ashton Tait, not even close this time. And Steelers clear. There's a good break on here. Taylor against Cranston. Taylor will get there first. Meanwhile, on the far side, the referee has spotted something which wasn't happening in the play. Scott Neal in there. And Scott Neal is what is making his way across to the penalty box. Graham Horner talking to Rick Brabant, but Scott Neal will come into the box, and it's going to be an even up penalty because Scott Neal goes, Ross Lambert goes, and they continue their dialogue from long range.
Yeah, both guilty of high sticks there, just getting a bit caught up, and of course it happens near a team bench. Other players have a tendency to voice their opinions, and things sometimes get out of order, but good call by the referee. He's just taking the heat out of the situation, sends them both to the penalty box, and we're still back at 4-on-4.
Adey battling with Tim Cranston. Here is Graham Waghorn. We're over halfway through the second period. 5-3 to the Nottingham Panthers, 9:50 remaining in this period. Brabant just got a little bit of a touch from Cranston, which took him off his stride for a while. The corner will clear, the fall back to Waghorn. Waghorn looks for the angle, cracks it wide, and Milley will try and set the second line of the Sheffield Steelers on its way. Milley took a ricochet, will pop down onto the ice. Play still much in play. Some of them had given it up for good. I think it was going to pop down beneath the boards, but it didn't. Penalty call on the Sheffield Steelers again, and they're going to be suffering because Rob Wilson, I think, is the man who's going to go. We'll just see what the decision is taken here. And Cranston it is, in fact, who makes his way across. Rob Wilson just looking on rather disconsolately, and Tim Cranston's the man who goes for 2 minutes. And the old penalty box is getting a little bit full again. 3 Sheffield Steelers in there, 2 for the Nottingham Panthers. And again, wide open ice here at the Nottingham Ice Stadium.
Yeah, as Rick Brabant carried the puck up the ice there, Cranston was back checking, gave him a little slash. A bit of a lazy penalty, once again, one that they couldn't afford to take right at this moment in time. They're just getting back into the game. I think if they keep their discipline, Sheffield have got a chance, but if they continue in this vein, they're going to have a big problem. Here we go. You see it clear as a bell here. Brabant skating up, Cranston gives him a little slash, goes a bit high with it, and of course Brabant always plays to the referee, and Cranston takes a 2-minute penalty.
Well, things have settled down a mite compared to how they were in the first 20 minutes play, but it's not been an easy ride at all for Graham Horner. 9:19 remaining on the second period. Panthers 5, Steelers 3. Hunt. Steelers have to try and soak up the pressure again. They don't want to be playing when the man's short. That's precisely what they are doing right now. All hands to the pump. Nemeth the only man forward. Milley will just whack it away as far as he can. Didn't get the distance on it because it collected the stick on the way. They will now through Mike O'Connor. Whip it around the boards. Few more valuable seconds wasted. And Stephen Butler will have to guard it behind the back of his net and put it on the stick of Simon Hunt. Here's 3-goal scorer Paul Adey. Would love number 4. The crowd would love number 4 from him as well. He's getting the angle set. Looking now for the pass. Hunt out in front of net. Taylor scored one. And a save made by Martin Mckay. Releases it. Whacks it down the ice. Good play by the Sheffield Steelers netminder. Quick release from him. Everybody thought he was going to hold on to it. Belanger. Brabant. Milley will try and stop him in his tracks. Taylor again working the angle. Trying to work it in as Belanger. Save made by Martin Mckay. And I thought the puck was going to work its way loose for a minute. I think some of the crowd did as well. But Mckay this time stands or crouches tall and makes sure there's no way through for the marauding Panthers players.
Yeah, Brabant comes across here, dumps the puck across. It gets passed over to Mario Belanger. Great stick work by Mark Mckay. Pokes it off the end of Mario's stick and puts his hand over it. That's a great play by Mark Mckay. He needed that one.
Martin Mckay, Sheffield Steelers netminder. Game per average of 3.96. Less than 4 goals a game. Well, he's conceded 5 tonight. Save percentage to 88%. That probably will have gone down a little bit in this game. Belanger took a ricochet off Mike O'Connor. And the Panthers will have to build again. with Ashley Tait. Can he get around Mike O'Connor? No, he can't. O'Connor nearly puts him in the front row of the seats. Webber takes the tumble. No penalty. Brabant is open. Taylor's even more open. And Belanger gets the shot in. Back off the netminder it comes. O'Connor whips it away. And the captain of the Nottingham Panthers will have to chase back. Now, here's Tait with Webber. And captain Rick Brabant chasing forward. Ross Lambert waiting in behind for the drop pass. They're trying to be a bit too clever there. Might have another chance to formulate something here. Lambert, back off the stick of Kelland it comes. Lambert, they're going to force it in. Steelers defence do well. Whacked away by Kelland. The netting takes some of the way off the puck. And here's Lambert again. Eyes set on going all the way, but he can't because there's an offside call made by linesman Young. Play will come to a halt. They need a breather. 7:24 remaining in the second period.
I think we all need a breather right now, Bob. It's been frantic from the start of this period. A lot more hockey being played, and at the moment it looks like Nottingham are holding their own and slightly on top. Sheffield needs something big here over the next 2-3 minutes to try and stem the tide and try and convert some of the chances that they have had and get back into this game.
Adey. Adey. Three-man back on the blue line. Forced in range of net. Here's Cranston. Cranston still going. Still Cranston with Cranston's quick release into the netting at the back. The Ponds Forge. And then you're having problems here, I guess. You can see the pictures loud and clear. Beaming through on Sports Wire and to Ponds Forge tonight with 2,000 Sheffield Steelers fans glued to every move. Not good news if you're a Steelers fan, great news if you're a Panthers fan watching this. 5-3, they lead. Good old dig out there, chance almost for Adey for number 4 of the night. That really surely would put the game beyond control for the Steelers. And Cranston's got other thoughts on his mind and drives it in to Stephen Butler, who doesn't let the rebound come back out because Steve Nemeth was the poacher there, looking to get into position to go for the wraparound or give it back to Cranston.
Good move by Tim Cranston, takes Waghorn wide, gets a shot away, but Stephen Butler holding his post, standing up like all good goaltenders should, takes in his chest and kills the puck. There you go, Graham Waghorn stumbles, takes a swipe. Cranston gets a shot away, but no problem with the goalkeeper there. Good save and good move by Cranston. He's sporting a nice black eye. That'll come up nicely tomorrow morning.
Butler again makes the smothering stop before Ken Priestlay can get in there. 5-3 to the Panthers over the Steelers. You're so great, it's unbelievable, say the Nottingham Panthers fans at the moment. They're just that. Now here's Nemeth, backhand shot, and it's not in because Butler got his body in behind that, toppled over, but kept the puck outside of the net. So Nemeth denied for his second goal in the game.
Yeah, I'm not convinced Stephen Butler is going to be on top of his game tonight. He looks a little bit shaky every time Sheffield has a shot. He's not taking them cleanly. And once again, you see here, puck gets taken, he drops it, it's lying between his legs there. Yeah, he's looking a little shaky, and if Sheffield can put a little bit more pressure on him, they might be able to turn this game.
First choice netminder for the Nottingham Panthers, Stephen Butler over Brian Cox, who's sitting on the bench waiting for his turn. Now Belanger nearly through there, not quite, but might get another chance. He'll go and win it back. There certainly seems to be a lot of steel in the Nottingham Panthers. How much steel is there in the Steelers though? Belanger. Here's Shooter up with Priestlay. Well, that was the idea for the pass. It's going to be icing. It's going to go all the way back. And a few passes just going astray for the Sheffield Steelers now. The difference between the quality of play from both sides is probably marked by that 2-goal advantage.
Yeah, maybe time for Chris Kelland to take a little bit more control. He usually controls things back at the back for Sheffield. He's not having much time on the puck at the moment, and obviously with the pressure nothing are exerting, they're coughing up a lot of bad passes and a lot of icing, and it keeps the pressure on in their own end zone, and it's creating a few problems for them.
Adey has been the real danger man as far as the Steelers are concerned, and been the man that all the Nottingham Panthers have taken to their hearts. 3 goals for Adey in the game tonight. Trickett, it was a nasty one to deal with for Martin Mckay. All fall down in the crease. Graham Waghorn in there. Graham Horner losing sight of the puck. Mike O'Connor picks himself up, dusts himself down and says, right, we've got a bit of a rear guard action to perform here. Adey against Wilson in the face-off. Can't even drop the puck. Referee can see that, decides to throw both of them out of the face-off circle. So they'll go. And in, well, perhaps he's, certainly made the motion as if to throw them both out. He should allow them both to stay in there for the time being. No, he isn't. Adey's out. Webber's in. Webber against O'Connor. Doesn't clear it. Trickett will force it back in. Les Milley. Lambert sets himself up for the shot. Just wide. They can't get it over their own blue line at the moment, the Sheffield Steelers. Plommer might just left it in behind him. Rather casual. Webber. O'Connor now. Plommer cuts across to the left. Here's Cranston. Cranston's lovely drop pass on Milley. Can't get the shot away. Has two men onto him. Yeah, both Lambert and Trickett all over him like a rash, but he's got the puck back. Plommer looks for Cranston. Cranston's shot. Good save by Butler. And then down goes Les Milley with Trickett. Milley decides not to get involved this time. There's a few Panthers players get involved and the fans come to life.
Great play by Les Milley here. Keeps it on his feet. Fighting for the puck all the time. Tommy Plommer, nice pass out, picks up Cranston in the open. Stephen Butler does well to get on top of that one. Once again, it's great work by Les Milley. His helmet's all over the place, as you can see, putting it back on his head. But if you watch Stephen Butler once again, he's staying up, he's staying fairly upright, making a big target, and there's not a lot for Cranston to shoot for.
Steelers bench looking on as Priestlay looks for the angle for the shot. Chance for Nemeth, yes! Number 2 of the night for Steve Nemeth. Now that does make this game look a great deal different, and the Steelers fans now get a chance to celebrate Steve Nemeth's goal. 5-4, Nemeth second.
Excellent goal by Sheffield here. Ken Priestlay, wonderful move, just picks up Nemeth, who has been allowed to take the face-off and then slide through the gap, which is bad defensive play by Nottingham. I'm sure there'll be questions asked as to who should have been picking him up, but Stevie Nemeth, quick hands, probably the quickest hands in the country, picks the puck up, one move past the goalkeeper. Here we go, Priestlay just turns around, spins around, just slips it through Nemeth, one move, and he puts it right in the middle of the net. That's a great goal for Sheffield, and it opens the game wide open again.
Well, from 5-2, it's now 5-4 to the Panthers over the Steelers. Is there goal number 6 ready to be scored by Brabant? Well, again, he had the option of giving it to Belanger, which might have been a better option to his left. Decided to drive it in himself, and Mckay stood him up. Kelland, Scott Neal with Priestlay. Priestlay drives it in, Butler gets across it well. Tight angle. Nemeth, it's still loose, it's in there! It's goal number 5 for the Sheffield Steelers. Ken Priestlay scores his third, his hat-trick goal, and Steve Butler gave it as a gift. Dropped out, and the Sheffield Steelers tie the game at 5 apiece.
Yeah, here we see the first shot comes in, and it's a good save by Steve Butler, and he kicks it out. But on the spin around here, it comes in, it lies under his leg, he doesn't have a clue where it is, and of course Ken Priestlay, sharp as a tack, straight in and deflects it in. Once again, we see the shot coming in. I think it's easier. Watch Ken Priestlay, heads for the net, sees it lying there, bang bang, there it goes. No matter how much attention the Nottingham defensemen are paying him, he's putting it in. Once again, first shot comes in, it's kicked out. On the spin around here from Steve Nemeth, Steve Butler loses sight, doesn't know where it is, and there you go. Ken Priestlay makes it 5-5 and everything to play for now.
Hat-trick for Priestlay, which levels up the hat-trick for Paul Adey. As we enter the last minute of the second period here at the Nottingham Ice Stadium. Here's Brabant, drives it in, but Mckay now is looking very, very solid indeed, and he'll pick those up all day and all night.
Yeah, a couple of nice moves by Rick Brabant, and Mark Mckay had him covered all the way, and there's no problem at the end of it. It's nice height for him. He doesn't have to move his hand too far. There you see Brabant. He's losing a bit of control, but he gets the wrist shot away. But it's right in the breadbasket. There's nothing else for Martin to do than to catch that one. He's turned the corner for himself now, and I think he'll be a hard man to get past for the rest of tonight.
5-5 with 55. All the fives, 55-5-5. Panthers and Steelers. You can't separate them with a bread knife at the moment. Priestlay in the corner, Shooter in the corner. Dig, dig, dig. Brabant and Priestlay looking on the turn. That's wide. Just wide of the referee as well. Steelers will try and clear with Nemeth. That's fallen nicely to Scott Neal. Now, Shudra was having a bit of a battle there with Belanger, not normally known for his battling qualities, but he's getting involved in a bit of stick tonight, I can tell you. Belanger might lose out on the puck here too, to Nemeth. Didn't want to give up on that, kept digging away. Now, Priestlay will try and hold on to Tait, but Belanger will dump it into the corner. Last 20 seconds of the second period. Shudra has his man tied up, and he's going to get a penalty for it as well. He's going to go for 2 minutes as soon as a Sheffield Steeler touches the puck. Shudra's going to be the man who departs for 2 minutes. And the call is roughing on Ron Shudra. Ron Shudra goes for 2 minutes for roughing. And it's going to be a power play for the Nottingham Panthers with just 9 seconds remaining in the second period. That could prove to be quite a crucial development. Shudra none too happy with that, but he's got to go.
Yeah, I think it stems from the frustration with the altercation with Mario Belanger. There's not much going on here. They're both holding and hooking each other. And there you see there's a punch thrown by each player. And I think Nottingham can be pleased that they've come out victors of that little contretemps.
So, Ron Shudra, the captain of the Sheffield Steelers, departs for 2 minutes, so he will not be involved in the early stages of the third period. 5-5, 9 seconds to go in the second period. Live ice hockey action, all happening here. Brabant blasted in just wide, and it was lifting, and a nasty one for the goalie to read. Last few seconds, that's it. The end of the action, of which there has been an awful lot in this second period. It's been really captivating stuff. A few words exchanged by both sides as they go back to the dressing room. It's been a very enjoyable period. Let's just remind you of how it stood. 2-2 at the end of the first period. Then a goal from Adey, 22-21. Another goal from Chuck Taylor, 24-34. 5-2 to the Panthers at 26-24. That man's got some work to do yet, doesn't he? Paul Adey with his hat-trick. And then goals from Nemeth, 2 of them, and Priestlay at 37.06. And at the end of 40 minutes play here at the Parliament Street Ice Stadium, it's 5-5 between the Panthers and the Steelers. The only thing that really matters is the Nottingham Panthers winning any other result, and the Sheffield Steelers will be the Premier Division champions. 1994-1995. Settle back. The organist gives a little recitation. We're ready to go. Reminder that the Nottingham Panthers will start with a man advantage. Ron Shudra in the penalty box for 151. So can they make this power play count? Eyes down for a full house here at the Nottingham Ice Stadium. Here is Brabant. There is Adey, been the danger man, and the man they have to keep at bay if they want to win this game, the Sheffield Steelers tonight, it would seem. Back to Belanger, can he keep it in the zone? Millie will hassle him for all he's worth and win it back. Feeds it to Nemeth. Nemeth just leaves it in behind him, but good work by him. Goes back and wins it again. Will drive it down the ice, waste a bit more time and test out Stephen Butler in the process. Here is Belanger, minute and 15 on the power play. Here is Belanger, dump into the corner. Hunt goes on the chase, tied up by Wilson, but they're still loose. Belanger is wide open, so too is Taylor out in front. They can't get the pass to him. Millie will whack it away, bring Butler back into the action again, and Taylor will have to relieve him of the play and the puck and put the pressure back on the Sheffield Steelers defence. Here comes Taylor. Looks to dump it in, then decides to give it to Adey on a short pass. Here's Hunt. Reverse pass, but picked up by Millie, and a few more valuable seconds wasted. 40 seconds before Ron Shudra returns to the ice, and it's a 5-on-5 call in this very tight and exciting ice hockey game. Drive from wide again. Adey's been successful twice from that position, not this time though. Belanger, Adey in front. Oh, that was so close to getting the touch, which would have been crucial and decisive on the power play. Last 20 seconds before the power play is over. This could be the last charge up the ice for the Panthers. Lambert. Mckay had his stick already prepared for that. Offside call made against the Panthers. Belanger vehemently disagrees and tells linesman Young so, and he's going to get a penalty for that. An unsportsmanlike conduct penalty on Mario Belanger for a bit of back chat. And now the Sheffield Steelers will be on the power play after Shudra served his 11 seconds.
Well, this is a key play there. I think Nottingham, I hope they're not going to pay the price for a bit of stupidity there.
Steelers will have 1:49 remaining on the power play. Here comes O'Connor. Just hold on to the puck until Ron Shooter can return to the ice, which he will do now. Shooter returns. Steelers on 5-man play now. Here's Nemeth. Shooter goes straight forward, but Nemeth might take a rip from long range, and he does into the stop netting. That bounced awkwardly back, but Butler fully anticipated it would and had it covered. Here's Kelland. Power play then for another minute and 30 for the Sheffield Steelers. Captain Ron Shudra just back on the ice with fresh legs. Picks out Nemeth, tries to pull a move, but can't. Kelland will have to try and keep the puck in play for the Sheffield Steelers. No icing, of course, and that took a odd bounce, but a fortuitous one in the end for Mike O'Connor. Now Priestlay, hat-trick here over the Sheffield Steelers. Nemeth, is he going to drive to the net again? Thinks about it, wheels around once, looks to see where Priestlay is, dumps it in. Nobody seems particularly keen on chasing that in, apart from Priestlay and Nemeth himself. Should try and keep it in the zone. Bounced awkwardly, back onto the stick of Lambert. Got 3 men round him. Wallafum is Les Milley, just impeding his progress a bit. Premack's got a good shot if he can get it away. He can't. They have to work it back to defence. Remember, they're short-handed at the moment. 40 seconds remaining on the power play for the Sheffield Steelers. Brabant. Again, tied up by Cranston, who's going to try and win it back. Waghorn takes him off the play. Brabant wastes a few more valuable seconds on the power play. And Mckay holds it up for Shudra. 25 seconds on the power play now. 5-5 and 5-4 in terms of men on the ice for the Sheffield Steelers. Plommer, that is, chasing forward. Shudra lets one go just wide, and not wide by an awful lot, and there's still another chance. Plommer, can he set Milley up in front? Plommer tries to do it all himself again. Shudra. Now here's Plommer. Can he get the dig in? Well, just wide, and the Nottingham Panthers back to full strength, so no damage done on that power play. They get that in. Mckay has to come a long way outside his net, and there's danger here. If Tait can get the puck, he can't, because Mckay is back, and Shudra has Belanger tied up. Brabant, Taylor waiting for it back on the blue line. Here is Taylor. Lofts it through, wide of Mckay. I think had that covered, but wasn't totally certain on that play. Needs somebody out in front. Here's Brabant. Took some of the way off, and here's Plommer. Got 2 men to get round. Plommer got Taylor, and has also got Matt Trickett. Gets it away, and they scored! There's Milley! Well, that came out of absolutely nothing, and an amazing shot. And he came so close to scoring earlier on, and the Sheffield Steelers, out of absolutely nothing, have scored wide on the right wing. Butler beaten all ends up, and Lester Milley take a bow.
And once again, Tommy Plommer draws the defenseman and takes a hit. And again, I'm afraid to say the goalkeeper's only got himself to blame there. It's another weak goal against the Nottingham team, and I think Sheffield have realised the more shots they pepper on the goalkeeper here, I think he's going to keep making mistakes. It looks like Nottingham have got to protect the goaltender a little more than they're doing. Wasn't much of a shot at all, and it seemed to go under his arm, between his arm and his chest. Bad goal for them, great goal for Sheffield.
Really didn't seem to be an awful lot on when Les Milley took aim and fire, but it's now 6-5. The Steelers back in front. They've only been in front in this game once when they led 1-0. Waghorn blasted in. Now the onus is on the Nottingham Panthers to come back into this game and win it. And Simon Hunt takes the net off its moorings. Martin Mckay just takes a breather, stamps his skate into position to help out with the repositioning. And well, what will that goal now do for the Sheffield Steelers?
Well, it certainly give them a bit more confidence, and they got to concentrate tough, strong on defence now. I'm sure they'll manage to do it. I tipped Sheffield from the start, and that's just the start to the second period that Nottingham did not want. They now need 2 goals to take the points tonight, and Sheffield are sitting comfortable.
Quite a few smiles, big one from Neil Abel. He'll be delighted. They all will be if it holds on like this. Then Lambert rifles it in. Hunt takes Shudra into the corner. Waghorn misses out on the opportunity of collecting the puck this time. Here's Premack. Priestlay will put pressure on him. Perhaps there is a little bit of fallibility there. Neil again looking to dump it into the corner. Waghorn intercepts before it gets there. They've got to come forward now in force and in numbers, Nottingham Panthers. Just fanning on it was Ross Lambert. Nemeth collects. Nemeth with the drive on from Shudra down the right. It's going to be a penalty call on the Nottingham Panthers. Shudra drives and picked up by Waghorn, but it's going to be a penalty. It's a slashing call made on the Nottingham Panthers, so as if things weren't bad enough already. going to the box for 2 minutes. Simon Hunt, he disappears, and the Sheffield Steelers have the power play for 2 minutes. And perhaps Nottingham are pressing the self-destruct button here.
Well, they've got to maintain discipline if nothing else. They can't afford to be sitting in the penalty box from now till the end of the game. They're chasing the game now, and they've got to start making a little bit more common sense decisions. We had a slash just before that play takes place, and Ron Shudra follows it through, but unfortunately for him, he doesn't get any further, and Stephen Butler ends up in the back of the net, where Shudra, I'm sure, would have liked to see the puck go.
14 minutes and 43 remaining in the game. It's 6-5 Steelers, and they're on the power play. And the noises you can hear, the voices you can hear, the singing you can hear is all coming from the South Yorkshire contingent and not the Nottinghamshire one. That's Wilson driving it in, asking Priestlay to chase. He says, no thank you, but I will now, if you don't mind. Adey, little drop pass behind him, hoping that Matt Trickett can dig it out. Steelers have it with Priestlay. Wide open is Kelland. There's a shot from Wilson on target this time. Butler is equal to it, and the deflection off stick goes wide down the stop netting behind the boards into the crowd. 1 minute 25 remaining on the power play.
Well, Rob Wilson's had a steady game. He's done nothing outstanding. He's always been there. He's carried the puck out the zone well. He's controlled the defence at the back. Here we see Sheffield on a little bit of pressure here. The puck comes over to Rob Wilson, takes a nice shot, and Stephen Butler takes care of that one, no problem.
Here's Premack. Got to get it out of there though. Kelland, Premack again, but they haven't cleared it. Milley, scorer of the go-ahead goal so far for the Steelers. Who's out in front? They're looking for the wraparound. Plommer, Priestlay, they're mixing the lines up. Wilson's drive, and that really did take a lot out of Randall Webber. He put his body in behind that as a block, and he would have felt that just rebound off his body. Some of the padding might have taken the sting out of it, but I think he will be a little bit hurt by that. Wilson, tied up by Webber, who's got right back into the action. No sign of any injury, no sign of any problem with that. Priestlay, here's Plommer. Now, oh, that was Tait just getting in, trying to put Plommer off his stride. Didn't succeed because he gets the pass away to Priestlay. Drives it in and scores! Priestley's number 4 of the night, and Butler is again beaten at the near point. That's where he seems to be a little bit lax and a little bit lacking. And the Sheffield Steelers take command on the power play. It's 7-5, and Priestlay does it again.
Ken Priestlay has all the time in the world here. Takes a shot from a long ways out, and once again Stephen Butler's found wanting. He's not covering, he doesn't seem to be concentrating too hard on these shots, and does the splits, looks impressive, but unfortunately, bottom line is the puck's in the back of the net.
So, 7-5, that goal by Priestlay. Anything Paul Adey can do, Ken Priestlay can do as well. He is the jewel in the Steelers' crown. And with 13:09 remaining, Panthers 5, Steelers 7. I can hear the noise at Ponsforge from here, and I can hear the Sheffield Steelers looking for more glory. Clear to halfway, Adey. And a good stop made by Martin Mckay.
Yeah, for the first 5-6 minutes of the period, it certainly appeared to me that Sheffield had the bigger appetite, the more hunger for the game. Nottingham have been standing off, letting the puck lie, not turning around, skating hard for it, and I mean, they're resorting to shots and dumping the puck in once again, and I don't think that's the way they're going to get back into this game.
Anything now will do though for the Nottingham Panthers. They've got to try everything they can in their armoury. They want Milley. Well, those Sheffield Steelers fans are making an awful lot of noise. Milley looking for another goal. One already. A goal that put the Steelers in front for only the second time in the game. That one will bounce back into play. Milley looks for it. A bit of a high stick there, but not played by a Panther stick, so it continues. Cranston, Milley. Milley won't get there, he'll pull Adey down. That's going to be a hooking call on Les Milley. He's gone for 2 minutes. And now the Nottingham Panthers will be on the power play. 12:23 remaining on the clock, so maybe a little bit of a lifeline here for the Nottingham Panthers.
Well, they certainly need it. Les Milley there takes a penalty. There wasn't much of a hook there, but once again, Nottingham makes sure they get the penalty out of it, and it's very important that Nottingham have a good power play here, and even more crucial for Sheffield that they kill the penalty. Mike Blaisdell, hair's looking a little bit more ruffled than it was at the start of the game. I think he's had a bit of a shock coming into this third period, but you can't take anything away from Sheffield. They've been putting the effort in for the last 7 or 8 minutes.
So Les Millie sits it out. Steelers 4 men on the ice. Nottingham Panthers 5 men on the ice. Brabant dumps it in for Belanger to chase. That's meat and drink there, easily taken by Tommy Plommer. Nemeth, Tait down the boards. Brabant wide open was Hunt, but he just couldn't keep his skates and keep his balance. Lambert, however, can he find Brabant or Tait? Look for an opening. Belanger perhaps to the wraparound. He's done it once already in this game. Lambert, yes, he scores! That is the lifeline the Nottingham Panthers were looking for. They find a way through the Sheffield Steelers defences and through the pads of Martin Mckay.
Yeah, it's a nice work goal here. Rick Brabant just throws the puck over. I think Simon Hunt just loses his feet there. Ross Lambert, presence of mind, twisting, turning, takes it back into the corner, slides it across the front of the goal in a second. You're just going to see it coming in. Sheffield get muddled up. Ross Lambert picks it up off Shudra's stick and just sticks it through Mark Mackay's legs.
Now Lambert takes a fall. Puck screams across the net. Priestlay has still got his stick being held by Lambert. Panthers haven't worked it out yet. They're getting a touch of the jitters again. Here's Trickett. Now, has he got some forward propulsion and motion to go? Yes, he has. Tries to find his line mate, Randall Webber. Forced in for Ross Lambert. But the pass is going astray at the moment when they need to be pinpoint accurate and right onto the end of sticks. Premack. Haven't seen his boomer too often tonight. He might just try one from long range. They've really got to get a few more shots ranging in now on Martin Mackay's net. They've got to keep it in the zone more to the point. That'll be an icing call if it gets there, and it won't get there. Butler then, playing with fire as he played it round the back of the net. It could have gone easily anywhere. Luckily, it went round behind the net instead of in front of it. Tait with Millie. Waghorn. Cranston. Kelland will dig it back in. Plommer will stay up there to put pressure on the Panthers defence and succeeded for the time. Taylor now, Brabant. What can he do? Lovely. Oh, look for the pass to Tait, which so nearly arrived at its destination, but that's offside. Rob Wilson says intentional offside. Linesman and the referees say no. So the face-off outside the blue line. 2:52 between the Sheffield Steelers and Premier Division glory.
Well, the last minute and a half, Sheffield have certainly had control. They're not losing their cool. They're keeping their discipline. They're keeping their shape. They're working hard. We've got a timeout called by Nottingham as far as I can see. They'll be looking at ways they can break down and together quality players like Brabant, Adey, Belanger, a bit of a breathing space. They'll be going out for the last 2 minutes and 50 seconds of the game to try and salvage something. They've got 2 goals to get, and I don't see them getting it, but hockey's a funny game, and we've seen some strange twists and turns so far this evening. But I think Sheffield have got the strength and depth, and they've certainly got quality players at the back to, I would think, soak up the pressure. Mark Mackay's playing an outstanding game now. He's come to the fore. I think the odds are stacked in favour of Sheffield taking the championship tonight.
171 seconds, that's all remains in this Premier Division. All action, all heat, all drama game between the Panthers and the Steelers. .252 remaining in the game. Brabant against Priestlay in the face-off. Brabant wins it. Lofted forward, goes off the safety netting, can bounce anywhere and indeed does. Belanger, Adey, 3 up. Can he make it 4? If he could, will have finished it after this game. Adey tied up by Kelland. Can't find a way clear. Belanger will battle for it behind the back of the net. Referee Graham Horner loses sight of the puck, brings play to a halt. 2:34. This game has taken an eternity to finish.
Well, it's the same for every player out there now. It's all to play for. There's no quarter going to be given, and there's no quarter expected. There's a lot of tired legs, as you can see by the way that they're holding each other up, and they're not still keeping the legs pumping and fighting for the puck. It's hard to tell what way this is going to go, but we'll see.
Millie. Charging down the right goes Tim Cranston, who by his own very high standards has worked hard but not had the most awe-inspiring game. He's a big match player, and he's certainly played his part tonight without being terribly flashy. Ken Priestlay has been the man will steal the goal scoring honours. Now wide from the right, blasted in by Belanger. They've been successful from that angle a couple of times, but not now. Mckay! Whoa, that wasn't too far away from clinching the game beyond all reasonable doubt. Taylor, last 2 minutes of the game, here we go. Cranston. Anybody want to chase? Nobody wants to chase apart from Stephen Butler, who'll give it to Chuck Taylor. Now if they score here, it's going to be pulling a netminder time, but they've got to do that for... Oh, it's a steal for Priestlay, looking for number 5. Can Priestley make it absolutely certain? Oh, yes he can! Ken Priestlay is gold. 24-carat gold. Ken Priestlay, 5 alive tonight. He has been in absolutely miraculous form.
Well, Chuck Taylor here trying to carry the puck up the ice, tries to dump off to the side. Ken Priestlay takes it like picking cherries, picks a 5-hole on Stephen Butler, and that's it. It's all over now, and I think Sheffield can crack the champagne open, and I hope people at Pond Sports are having one hell of a party now. Once again, Chuck Taylor, his head goes down, he knows he's made a bad mistake there. Big slash comes in, but no problem to Ken Priestlay. He's been hot tonight, and what a sterling performance he's put in. He's carried this game for Sheffield from start to finish.
Well, he has a Stanley Cup ring. He has 2 of them, in fact, and I've seen them. They are very impressive, but nowhere near as impressive as his performance on a night that will take the Sheffield Steelers to hitherto unseen and unreached heights. The Premier Division is theirs, despite everything Nottingham Panthers have thrown at them. Remember, they were 5-2 up in this game, looked on course to take it right through down to the wire in the last game of the season, but it's not going to be. And the Sheffield Steelers fans, only 50 of them here, there might as well be 5,000, because the noise that they're generating in the far corner is absolutely incredible. They know they could go for a double success this year, league and Wembley. At the moment, the league is in their grasp, and that is what it means to them.
Well, they've done everything that's been asked of them tonight, and they've put on a great show for everybody. They've stood the rough and tumble. Their class is shown through in the end, and at the end of a long, hard season, I think they're going to get what they deserve. Well pleased for them. They've got some cracking players and some cracking guys there, and I can't think of a better club to have won the championship this year.
Well, the Nottingham Panthers went 21 games unbeaten before the Sheffield Steelers beat them in their rink in the league. And since then, it's been the Steelers enter the season. They pull their netminder of the Nottingham Panthers. It's a last desperate attempt. The Steelers could have an open goal here. Last minute and 5 seconds. Adey goes for it. It's an icing call. They'll return all the way back, and I would imagine Stephen Butler might possibly return it because the goal will be under threat.
Yeah, I think he's got to. I think they've got to keep it sensible. He's coming back on the ice now. But what a terrific performance by Sheffield. Every single man on their team has played out the skin tonight. It's been a 100% team effort. Nottingham have made such a terrific game of it. They've had a great season, and I think we couldn't have had a more fitting end to the championship. The 2 best teams by a long way, and there's not been much to choose between them, as we've seen tonight. But I think Sheffield's strength and depth, and certainly their experience has come through.
Rimac, last minute or so, this had been at home, the Sheffield Steelers' roof would be off. As it is, it might be a slightly quieter end to the game in terms of the crowd noise, but I tell you something, as far as the Steelers players and supporters are concerned, they'll more than make up for it with their celebrations and jubilations. Here's Lambert, still hasn't given up yet, nor has Martin Mckay, who makes the stop. Last 35 seconds of the game. Graham Waghorn, who played so well for them against Edinburgh last Sunday, unable to find the goal-scoring touch that he had in that game, even though they lost it. Priestlay misses out, no icing, he did touch. Last 25 seconds of the game. This is the last hurrah for the Nottingham Panthers. Priestlay nearly in for number 6 with the steal there. Nottingham Panthers know it's all over, bar what shouting there might be. Stop made by Martin Mckay with the stick. Last 10 seconds, the puck disappears from view, and the last face-off possibly of the game will take place to the right of Martin Mckay's goal.
Oh, what a terrific advert for hockey this has been tonight. We've seen every aspect of it, from the rough and tumble to the silky smooth skills of some of the players on show. Without doubt, the man of the match and the most outstanding player on the ice has got to have been Ken Priestlay. He's never made a mistake, he's never missed an opportunity. He's kept out of penalty box. He was in once earlier on for something he had to do, and he's demonstrated he's a world-class talent.
Last few seconds, this is it. The Sheffield Steelers have reached their zenith, 8-6, and now the celebrations can begin. Everybody from the Sheffield Steelers bench is out there. Those who did nice tonight, Andy Havenhand, Paddy O'Connor, Alan Haig, they're all out there enjoying their piece of the glory. Alex Dampier will follow them. Clyde Toole remains fairly quietly on the bench, but now he will follow them on as well. And the celebrations, I tell you, will not go on long into the night. Rob Wilson goes across to the Steelers fans on the far side. They hug him, they embrace him, they kiss him. He never experienced anything like this with the Swindon Wildcats. And after a game that looked more like World War III at the beginning, it settled down, it quietened down, and it certainly sorted itself out into a game and a half, which the Steelers have won by 8-6. The lineup, which is traditional in ice hockey, everybody shakes hands. There'll be presentations made for the Man of the Match award, and every one of the Sheffield Steelers will feel they've done their job tonight. They really have worked their socks off. 5-2 down. They've come through to win this game. Ken Priestlay, the Man of the Match, outstanding. They've won the game by 8-6 over the Panthers. Marty, what do you say after a performance like that?
Unbelievable. It's great to win the league, and for all the people back in Sheffield, we worked hard tonight. There was some ups and downs. They were up 5-2. We went ahead, but at the end of the day, we got the win and we got the league, and that's what counts.
At 5-2, what were you thinking? It seemed like you might have given the game away at that stage.
I let a bad goal in there from Chuck Taylor, but I went back in the room and the guy said, "Come on, the pressure's on them. They've got to win. Let's go out there and do what we've got to do." And everybody fought hard and came back. I mean, I made some good stops in the last period to hold them out, but that's the game, and it's just great to win the league.
What about the performance of Ken Priestlay tonight?
Unbelievable. I mean, the guy is the best import in the league by far, and I hope they can hold on to him. I hope Steve Curler can look a little bit deeper in his piggy bank and hold on to him there, because he's a stylish player. He's got everything. He's the best import I've ever seen adapt to the British game as quick as what he did.
What about the chance of the double? You got one part of it intact. What about doing this in Wembley as well?
Well, I hope so. I hope we can. We had a little bit of troubles at the start of the season with the Benson Hedges, but hopefully we can get together and hopefully take Wembley. That'll be 2. And maybe next year, we go for the 3 again.
As a member of the Goalkeepers Union, how do you feel about Steve Butler?
I feel quite sorry for him. It's just one of these nights. He made some good saves, and we all have them. But at the end of the day, his team never really helped him. They were all offense, and that's what we thought before we went out to start the game tonight. We thought, we hit them hard in the defence, because that's their weakest area, and we just came in here. They've been kind of cocky over the last week, so we just came in, done our stuff, and we leave them with 2 points. And it just so happens we won in Nottingham and won the league.
Martin Mckay, congratulations.
Congratulations, thanks very much.
Tell me about that big hole you dug for yourself. 5-2 down. I mean, the momentum was very much going their way then. What did you do to rectify that?
Patience. We were confident. That's the only thing we could say. We came back to the bench, and a lot of us older guys just came back and said, "Hey guys, it's not over. We still got about 45 minutes left to play in this game." And that's all we did. Marty shut the door. We got some goals and we won.
When did you think the game was in the bag?
I never thought it was in the bag until I finally got that breakaway goal at the end. I mean, they played a good team. They come to play all the time, and they think it's a 60-minute game just like we do. And you can never count them out. And thankfully we got a game with about a minute left, and we were able to celebrate a little early.
Now you could go up to Durham tomorrow in free will, but you're not that type of team, are you?
No, we don't. I mean, we want to go in there and win again. We don't want to lose. We don't want to lose from here on in. And this team here is very confident, and we're all pulling together and we're working as one, which is a hard team to beat.
I asked Martin Mckay about the chance of doing the double. What do you think? You got one leg of it done, Wembley.
Yeah, let's get by the playoffs first. Let's get there first. But that's the next goal, and we've set ourselves about a month ago after that Yorkshire Cup that we wanted to win the league. And then after that, we take about Wembley to see how it comes. And one gone, one more to go.
Now the question everybody is asking you, Ken Priestlay, now it's pretty unfair to put you in a position on the spot now, but the fans are saying it to me tonight. Martin Mckay is saying to me, what do we have to do to make sure this guy comes back next year?
Honestly, I mean, I don't know. I really don't. I mean, I'm pulling for it. I really do want to come back. I love this place. My wife loves it. I mean, all I can say is just hang tight. I'll let you know as soon as I can.
Ken Priestlay, well done. Congratulations.
Thanks, guys. We're #1 back there. All right.